friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jamie and I'm your crystal guide. I created this channel to guide and support you on your journey with crystals. When I began my journey, I was lost and alone, so I created this online community to help you grow and expand your knowledge in a safe space. I will teach you how to use the power of crystals to heal your body and manifest the life of your dreams. My journey with crystals began over 30 years ago. My grandparents would bring back rocks and fossils from vacations they would go on, and I would also collect rocks in my backyard. We lived on a farm, and there were always cool fossils I could find in the creek, so I'd bring them back and make mud pies, and I would use the stones in my mud pies, and I literally pretended they were magical potions. And it was just a really neat experience. I could feel the energy from the stones, but I didn't know how to describe it. It wasn't anything that anybody else I knew was into, so it was very lonely. So I lost touch with all of my things. I grew up, and in 2012, my parents actually rekindled my love of stones. We went on a quartz mining vacation, and it was just this really cool experience. We got to dig in the dirt and literally pull out quartz. It was a magical experience. I was already like tapping back into my magical side, and I could feel the energy from the stones. So when we started going into crystal stores down there, it was just this mind-blowing experience. They have so many stones, and they had cards that told you what they did, and I was like, oh my god, I am not crazy. There's other people out there in this world that believe in the energy from the stones. So I was collecting all of the crystals and the books. There wasn't a ton of stuff online at that point, so I was like mainly reading and kind of going through this process on my own. I was in banking, and my career goal was actually to become a CFO by the time I was 35. Over time in my crystal journey, I began to overcome my fear of working with the stones for religious reasons. That could be a whole video, but it was something that I had a lot of issue with when I was getting started. I really struggled there. So it took me a while before I started actually using the stones. I would intuitively place them on my body, and I could feel a shift in the way that I was feeling, and I would start to just intuitively come up with combinations and different meditations. And then over time, I started to learn more, and I would read in the book, and I would pick out a specific crystal on what to use. So I'm progressing in my career, and my crystals they've overtaken my desk, and then I start moving up, and then I get an office, and then they start to overtake my office, and people are always like, what are all these rocks for? I'm like, they're just pretty. I'm not going to tell you that I think they do anything, because you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. I live in Kansas. It was not accepted here at that time. Now I think it's a little bit better, but it was definitely not something I was comfortable with sharing at that time. So let's fast forward to 2019. So this is when I'm like getting a lot more confident. I had actually taken a class on intuition, and I was trying to really harness in on meditation and receiving guidance and just developing that. And at the same time, I'm trying to progress in my banking career. So I'm manifesting a move to where I have a higher position. I'm working towards the CFO position, and things are going really good. So in the fall of 2019, my amazing husband Ricky actually booked me this vacation and took me to Colorado to mine aquamarine Brian Busey from the show Prospectors, and it was this incredible experience. We got to go to his claim and mine aquamarine with him, and he took us to all these different places, and it was just this really powerful experience. And as we're like walking through the mountain, I like just feel like I have to sit down like near this tree. Like I have to, like, you may know what I'm talking about. Like I had to sit down. So I sat down, and I was like connecting with the earth, and it was just like this really magical experience. I had no idea what was going on still. Like I wasn't really sure like what this was about. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. And then at the end, I took a picture of the tree. And then a few months later, like we're home and it's November 2019, flipping through my crystal book looking for, you know, my next crystal. And I stumbled across moldavite and it just like lights me up. I'm like, oh my God, I need to have a piece of moldavite. People were not talking about moldavite. It was just something that at that point, it was not a thing. Like, so I got my first piece, and 2 weeks later, it's Thanksgiving Day, it's my birthday, we'd already ate, and we're just like relaxing, and Ricky's like, you should make an Instagram page, and I'm like, of what? And he's like, for your crystals, and he was like, you take really good pictures, and I was like, okay, I mean, I had Instagram, like, but I never really like posted, and like, it was just kind of like, I never thought of it, so I was like, okay, yeah, that might be kind of cool. So like I make a page, and then, you know, we're like, okay, well maybe we should set up a website and just see what happens, you know. But I'm still like dead set focused on my career, because, you know, it was a really nice position that I had. So I was really focused on that, and I was like, okay, we'll just do this. It'll be just kind of fun. I'll just buy crystals, and they'll be for me, and I'll act like I'm trying to sell them. So at that time, I planned on basically keeping all these crystals for myself and not selling any of them. But in a few weeks, we were starting to like attract a community, so it was like really cool. We were actually making sales, and then in February of 2020, we go to a show, and then like, I went crazy. I hit my budget really quick, so I was like, I was being really responsible about it, but there was a crystal I wanted, so I was like, if I do a live sale, maybe I can buy that crystal, or how about you do a live sale? If you sell anything, you can get the crystal as a reward, because it wasn't that much, but I was just really trying to like, this is my budget, I'm sticking to it, because I wasn't really thinking that, you know, it was going to go anywhere, so did it, and it went really good, and like it made me feel good, and I got to get my crystals. So when we came back, I started doing weekly live sales, and it just blew up. It snowballed so fast, it blew our minds. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. By November 2020, in the middle of everything, we opened a storefront because we had outgrown our house, and then by year 2, we had expanded and moved into a 9,000 square foot building, and had attracted a community of over 100,000 people on Instagram. It was just the most incredible experience this journey has been, and it's completely transformed my life. I'm so honored, I truly mean that, to share these crystals with you, and I'm so excited now to be able to have a platform to share my wisdom and teach you how to use them. It's really what I am here to do. I am so passionate about teaching you how to actually use these crystals. I'm so happy you found this video, and I can't wait to bring you guidance and support on your journey with crystals. If you want to learn how to use them and manifest your dreams, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next video, and I will see you there. Bye guys, I love you.